Yo, what up? What up? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, but mainly ladies, but also like gentlemen, to a very, very special Smoke-a-Probable edition of Man's Maker, the only show that is guaranteed to get you paid and laid this week. And right now, I am joined by a truly, truly prestigious guest. Not just one, though, two. And folks, trust me, I am well-versed in the arts of menage a trois, so I will be able to handle this roundtable discussion. First up, out of Kansas City, we have a Manz who just took a break from sending kissy emojis to his best friend, Jeff Janis. He's the host of the Take Cast and a Manz of many takes, Davis Mattek. Welcome back to the program, my dude.
I didn't want to come back after you beat me in the Manz challenge. It was one of the worst defeats I've ever suffered in my history of playing fantasy sports. It was an embarrassing day for me.
Yeah, I went like 1-17 this year in the contest, but I've been hanging my literal and proverbial hats on that hook of beating you in the 60-line challenge.
You scored like 250 points against me. I don't know if I've ever seen a score that high, just like in a random head-to-head game.
That's right, but this isn't random head-to-head, dude. This is the 69 challenge. All right, let's get to our other guests before we get rolling here. This is a 6'2" shooting guard out of Cleveland, Ohio. A Manz with Zach Morris's good looks, a dude who spits fantasy fire with the heat of 1,000 suns, our Lord and Savior, Mr. Roto Reebs. Welcome to the program, my dude.
Dude, Chinese finger cuff Manz. I'm glad that we're here with you. When props to Davis, man. I know you let him in with that intro, but hooking up with Double J, Jeff Janis last week and getting on the news over there in Milwaukee. They're all over that podcast as, Janis was letting you know about a little bit of the dysfunction that was brewing in Green Bay. Davis is doing it big with like a top podcast now.
They didn't even cite me, bro. They didn't even cite me on the Fox 6 news broadcast in Milwaukee. They didn't even give me a citation. They just said on a podcast, not on Davis Mattek's podcast.
Yeah, have you sent them a cease and desist letter yet?
I added them, bro. I said, what's going on with this? What? I can't get a citation on the news. Drive some traffic my way,
Dude, even ESPN begrudgingly cites Barstool when they do something on one of their podcasts. You can't even get the Milwaukee local news to do a Take Cast plug?
No, and I'm really trying to get aggregated, though. Like, I need a guest big enough on the podcast to get aggregated onto all these sites, because that's how you get into the click farm industry, as I'm sure you know, Manz.
That's right, dude. What is Roto Experts? They paying you by the clicks, the downloads these days? They got you in the aggregation game?
No, it's just all about growing the podcast. I'm trying to overtake the BS report on the iTunes rankings for sports podcasts. That's the goal.
I think your next play should be to get Jake Kumerows on the podcast and see if you can start a war of, 6-string Packers wide receivers against each other.
My boy Janis is too humble for that. He won't take the bait.
He won't take it. All right, dudes. We are here, believe it or not to talk about Jeff Janis for 35 minutes, but I'm sure we could if we really wanted to. We are here to talk about the Super Bowls, or should I say the big game, lest I get sued by Roger Goodell's. Rich, I've seen you. Davis, I've seen you guys are pecking away at your keyboards. You have takes. You have props for us. You have over-unders. You have it. Rich, what is your 10,000-foot view of this game that we will all be so blessed to watch on Sunday?
We got the team that really nobody wants to be there anymore versus the team that kind of probably doesn't deserve to be there, the way the NFC Championship game ended. So, we're kind of in like a rock and a hard place of rooting interest here. I'm someone that will probably never see anything like this Patriots run again. I don't really have Patriots fatigue. I'm down with the Patriots to win and to root for them, just because we'll never see this. We'll never see something like this again in football, at least while I'm alive.
I'm guessing Davis is not going to co-sign on that.
No.
I'm everything Rich just said. The exact opposite is true for me. I think the Rams do deserve to be here, blown pass interference call or not. I don't think the Patriots deserve to be here based off of Dee Ford being, marginally offside on that interception, and Julian Edelman definitely touched that muffed punt. And Andy Reid not just having Mahomes kneel the ball on 1st and goal from the 2-yard line with 2 minutes and 3 seconds left on the clock. If they just kneel the ball and then run a play after that, and they give Brady 50 seconds left on the clock, this isn't even a conversation we're having. And the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes would be here in the Super Bowl, and we'd be forecasted for a much better, much more entertaining game.
Davis,
Well, if the Chiefs can remember that there's a first half in every game they play the Patriots, it'd be pretty tight.
I'm surprised.
I don't know if it's Mahomes' fault or Reed's fault, but that first half was pretty brutal to watch.
Goodness. No, I actually am surprised that Davis was able to pull himself away. I would figure that he has like the cork board and he's just like Zapruder filming these large stills of the Edelman catch or the touch, and he has them printed out at Kinko's, and he's still saying, no, he did not touch the ball. You're like the Saints fans, right? You want an apology from Roger Goodell's.
I want my elected representatives to be going to the floor of Congress with images of Edelman clearly touching that. We need microchips in the balls, like all over the football, so that we don't have to debate this anymore. Edelman, if you got him alone at a bar drunk at 3 a.m, Edelman would tell you his thumb touched that ball. No doubt.
Rich, if you got invited to testify on Congress about a football matter, do you think your overlords at Roto-World would let you go and make a case on behalf of all of Fantasy Nation?
Oh, no, I don't have that kind of clout at Roto-World. I don't even like – first of all, my article, they give me the worst time slot. My article has to come out first of the week because Evan's just squatting on the Monopoly spot. Other writers, we got 2 other football writers nominated for SWA Football Writer of the Year at Roto-World. I'm not even on there. This is why I'm here with you, Manz.
Dude, this is what this new show idea. We just bag on our employers. Davis, take a shot at Leone, that pencil dick motherfucker. What do you want to say about him?
I can't take any shots. I'm too new to take shots. You get me on for the Super Bowl preview next year, okay, and I will lob some shots.
Okay. All right. Just kidding, Leones. I'm sure you have a big hog, dude. All right. So we know where our rooting interests lie. Have any of you guys placed any significant wagers on a site?
Yes. Yeah, I have.
Spread, Oops, I think I froze there. I was saying that it has moved to +3 if you want the Rams at a lot of spots. Have either of you guys gotten any action down?
Yeah, I have Rams. I have Rams +3.
You did a money line? Well, I feel if you bet the Rams, you got a money line it.
I got both.
Okay, because I mean, it's the probability of the 3 mattering outside of a push is pretty small, and you're getting like +125 on the money line. So, especially when it was 2.5, because that 2.5 probably wasn't
at 2. And I don't know if I ever in my life, if I've ever bet 2.5, right? I would just bet the money line.
But even at 3, it's mostly 120 or lower in spots where you can just go 125. At 3, I mean, it's going to be a win, outright win or a push. So, I mean, just play for the outright win. Go big, baby.
I mean, I think the Rams win this game.
They opened at -1.
The early line seemed right to me, and then the Patriots mystique just pushed the line the rest of the way.
Well, I've listened to all the nerd sports betting podcasts this week, and they all say my model says that the Rams should be -1, and yet this narrative has kicked into overdrive. But then I don't hear any of them saying they have the stones to actually bet on the Rams.
No, I bet the Rams. They're like, I bet on the Patriots. I think the last 3 times that they were in the Super Bowl, having the Patriots and the points in the Atlanta Super Bowl was one of the best roller coaster betting experiences of my life. That was a really good one. But I think the Rams are just a better team. They probably have a slight edge at quarterback, and I think they have like a real advantage at coaching, not in terms of play calling, but in terms of like understanding the mechanics and flow of a game. Like Belichick is just they might not punt once in this game. They're going to be going for it on like 4th and 6 because they're in like a game with a lot of runs or whatever. They're just going to get ran. The Rams are too talented on offense. Like, so the way for the Patriots to win this game is the same way they won against the Chiefs. Just dominate time of possession, go for it on 4th down a ton, and just try and minimize how good the opposing offense is.
Reebs, what about the over-under? I did read your article. I think it was a stay away for you, but do you have like the Tower of Pisa a lean?
Yeah, I mean, I would lean over, but the problem is with the over already being set at 57 is there's just too much that can go wrong. Your margin of game outcomes is just too high to go under. So I mean, I don't really love it.
I lean under actually. I think that if the two game scripts that I see playing out are either, you know, the Patriots are just suffocating and they get up 14-0 early, and I think the Rams they would be kind of toast in that scenario. Or I think the last year's Super Bowl comes to fruition where the Patriots are just not as athletic, they're not as physically talented, and they get ran. And if they get ran, I don't think that they're a team like the Chiefs that's just going to be able to put up 30 points in the second half. I think that would be much worse for them than it would be for a team like the Chiefs to be down going into the second half.
What about that the first half over under? You know, we've all been the Patriots have started notoriously slow every first quarter. That under 27 and a half. Does that interest you at all, Reebs?
Yeah, I like the front half under. So the Super Bowl is just a really weird game. I mean, you have this layoff, you have the weird start time. No other game start at this time throughout the course of the season. You have that real long halftime. I can't wait to pitch a prop to you guys later on the show about the halftime show. But yeah, I mean, it's just a weird game, and we've seen in the second half of these games turn into shootouts. I mean, defenses get gassed, lots of points been scored. It's just a really odd game, and points usually come after the break in these games. So, I mean, I like the front half, you know, teams trying to feel each other out, trying to get over the initial, letting it feel like a football game to start off. You know, they're typically low scoring to begin and then finish fast.
Okay. I don't even think we need to do teasers here. Let's just jump right into it. We'll bounce around. Tell us this scorching hot halftime prop you need to get off your chest.
Well, I just want to know if I set it because the band's name is Maroon 5. If I set it at 4.5, can you go over on Maroon 5 songs?
I go under. But isn't Travis Scott performing too?
I mean, I don't know, man. Isn't there you could place bets on Christina Aguilera showing up, Big Boy. Yeah, I was just curious if between the two of you guys, you can actually get 5 Maroon 5 songs.
I couldn't. I can't.
They're just so agreeably bland to play the Super Bowl halftime.
I probably could get to 5, but I don't want to ruin my brand, you know?
That's a good take, man. That's a good take.
There's a song called Sugar. My Uncle Manz has a halftime prop he loves. Will Adam Levine's be wearing a hat at the start? I'm telling you, go scroll through the Instagram, go scroll through his recent tour and see if he's ever wearing a hat. Never wearing a hat except in a promo image for the tour, which is why I think this prop even exists. So if you want to take no hat minus 130, that's money in the bank right there.
That's ninth level.
Davis, are you messing around with any of these fuck around props? Or are you just football?
Yeah, I have one that I think is probably just like a stone lock. I would honestly I bet this one myself. Will Tiger Woods be mentioned on the broadcast? The two dudes doing the broadcast are Tony Romo and Jim Nantz, two dudes who love professional golf, like more than almost anyone else in the whole broadcasting industry. Nantz does the Masters. Romo was going to quit being a quarterback to go be he plays all the U.S. amateur events. And the Tom Brady Tiger Woods, ultimate winner comparison, that's just going to be dropped. And I think you can get that at plus 400. That is a stone lock.
Ooh, I like that.
What is the context of where that would come up?
Well, they'll probably run doesn't CBS
right?
CBS has this game. They're going to run Masters promos, and they're going to be like, they're running Tiger Woods, and then Nantz will go, just as we've seen Tiger fight back, we've seen Brady fight back from all this adversity. I mean, it's just going to happen.
I love it. Davis hates Brady. I love it. Davis hates Brady so much.
I mean, I really loathe him, dude. I I woke up the next day after the AFC Conference Championship game, still upset, still grumpy.
Let's give some shout outs to our chat. We got Trevor Marshalls. What's up, dude? Adam Cahill says Rich is the only thing he reads at Roto World. There you go. Shots fired. Evan Silva. We got Joe Holka saying Reeves was the unquestioned MVP of FSTA. What happens in Tampa stays in Tampa. Bet the prop says Gladys Knight. No mic stand. Lock it up at plus 125. Ooh, I like that. We're talking Gladys Knight nightstand. I did on our dear friend Johnny Bales' recommendation smash the under on the national anthem. I think it was like $147. And I was watching, you know, grinding some Gladys Knight films, and she's not going to mess around, dude. She's going to belt that thing out like Reebs, you know, belts out takes on a fantasy podcast.
It's honestly so much more plus EV to bet these dumb props. Like, if you're not trying to get $5,000 down on the Super Bowl, it's so much more plus EV to bet these dumb props than it is to bet the game, because these props are like not priced well, and they're just done to like get people to deposit money onto these sites. So like you could actually make money on these dumb props, whereas like it's very hard to get a good bet on the Super Bowl.
I saw how many times they'll mention the guy that holds McVay back on the sideline as a prop on there.
Yeah, at like 1.5. Obviously, they're going over on that. That's an over.
Romo, how many plays will he correctly predict?
We did this last night on the Gilcast. We did the math on it. So you figure he's pretty much doing it. He's calling it out for every third down. Deadspin went back through the season and figured that he gets stuff right at a 62% clip. There's going to be what, 30-ish third downs in this game. So like basically it's a lock. Like he's just like a lock to get 3 or 4 plays right.
It's at 7.5 is where I saw it.
So it's lower on Bovada. It was like 3.5 on Bovada.
The thing about some of these dumb props, and trust me, I love them, is some of these don't have sweat equity, right? Like there's no way to actually sweat them in an enjoyable way. It's just like at the end of the thing, you refresh your account to see if they're crediting you for it, you know? So I'd rather do some of these. No,
you got to do the ones with the sweat. Like, will Gronk retire immediately after the game?
Yeah, dude. If you guys want some good Gronk content, I heard from a friend, his girlfriend, Camille, might have posted an Instagram photo of wearing a very nice Gronk tank top on a beach somewhere. I'm passing it along, simply passing it along if you wanted to check that out. Speaking of horn dogging it up on Instagram, our friend Adam Levitans, his account has turned into a Sean McVay's girlfriend account. If you guys want to see what a 40-year-old creeper looks like, go to Adam Levitan's Twitter account. Speaking of dumb props, dudes, who doesn't have James Devlin at plus 40,000 to win MVP? That's $6.90 to win $2,700. I mean, tell me how there isn't a path to James Devlin being MVP, Rich.
So I'll give you an actual MVP one where you can create a middle right now on Bovada where you are guaranteed to basically win at least a minimum of $20. Okay. Brady is plus 125 to win Super Bowl MVP. The Patriots have won 5 Super Bowls with Brady as the quarterback. He won MVP in 4 of those. Mm-hmm. And I believe they are minus 130 on the money line. So if you bet $100 on them each way, I think you create a middle of $10. And the only way you lose or the Rams are plus 130. So the only way you lose is if the Patriots win, but Brady is not named the MVP, which I think happens a very low percentage of the time.
So this is a middle to win $10 with a lot of risk, Davis. Are you putting the Davis Mattek stamp of approval on this?
I'm not putting any money on the Patriots anything to win this game.
This is Davis telling us to play TJ Jones. You know, this is like peak Mattek to win $10. I mean, this is a lot of hustle. This is a lot of hustle for a couple packs of White Owls.
I'm not betting this, but Nate Noling on the Gilcast last night, he publicly recommended this, and I'm passing it along.
How are we supposed to trust the guy that had a guy that has 10 gallons of Red Bull pulsating through his veins right now? Can we trust anything that man would say?
He's wired, bro.
That's like 8 Red Bulls, so he's plotting it out. You know,
yeah.
I just imagine him just like throwing himself off a 10-story building when Sony Michel wins MVP after his 4 touchdowns.
Or Gronk does. That's the thing. I actually think if I was going to bet on a Patriot to win MVP, it would be Gronk, because I think pretty clearly his whole season is forecasted that the dude is toast, and this is just going to be his last hurrah. He's going to leave it all out there on the field.
Well, can you win MVP with 82 receiving yards?
Is if you scored 3 touchdowns, you can.
Well, here's the thing, Davis. I will draft off of this Noling take. I'll say you bet the Rams, you take the plus money, and then you bet on every single Patriots player that's eligible to win MVP. That's the middle, dude. That's the middle, because then you can't lose. You just cover the board.
It's true. I mean, if you hit someone at 40-1, it's true. You can't lose.
All right, well, do you guys have any other MVP bets? I heard Sean Corners was talking about he liked Robert Woods at plus 5,000. I actually bet Rex Burkhead the other day at plus 6,600. My thought is we saw his role growing in that AFC Championship game. He's the one running back they have that doesn't telegraph what they want to do. Could you guys see Rex Burkhead getting 15 carries, 5 touches, and having a touchdown, and, you know, somehow winning MVP?
No, James White is going to re-break his Super Bowl record. I think that's like the most likely median outcome, is that James White legit gets like 20 targets in this game. Because I think if I'm thinking that the Rams win, or at least that they're ahead pretty early, the Patriots offense is just going to be a ton of quick throws, because they're going to get all that. The Rams are going to get all that interior pressure with Aaron Donald and Sue and Brady's 41, bro. He's not rolling out. So that pressure comes. He's just getting the ball out right away, and White and Edelman are just going to be peppered with targets, I think.
I actually like both of the White unders, man, on the player prop.
No, I like the White overs, yeah.
I like, because you're getting plus money on the unders. Dude, 6.5 catches is kind of ridiculous for a running back to have his
he had that in the first drive against the Chargers.
He's done that twice. James White has had more than 6 catches twice in his past 10 games played.
They save him for the postseason, bro.
He had 2 catches last Super Bowl.
Yeah, but the year before.
In a complete shootout. Yeah, because they're down 28-3.
I think they're going to be down by a ton. It just, you're forecasting a Patriots like Sony Michel gets 22 carries and they just.
I don't think they're going to run. I don't think they're going to run well either. But I mean, I just think if you're going to set a line for running back at 6.5 catches, they give me plus odds on the under. A line he's hit 2 of 10 games. Like all
the projection systems agree with you. Like you have the sharp take.
I mean, that's a lot though. 6.5 catches for a back is a lot of catches. And I know that he had 17 targets 2 weeks ago, but last week he should have been a factor in the game plan against the Chiefs, against their awful linebackers. And dude,
they played Burke instead.
Dude, they waited till when their season was on the line, their backs are against the wall. They knew what guy to get on the field. They got Rex Burkhead on the field. They knew how to win the game.
It's true.
Davis, what about this take, dude? So I was reading your article. You have some prop picks. I see your boy, Josh Reynolds, who you would take a bullet for. You're taking his under 45.5 points. What is this emotional hedge bullshit?
It's not even an emotional hedge. I think that they're just going to run a bunch of 12 personnel. I think that's the way that they're going to try and combat some of the Patriots corners is they're going to force them to cover Gerald Everett or Tyler Higbee with a cornerback. I think the Rams game plan is going to be super Todd Gurley heavy, which I think is probably like a pretty controversial take. Most of the projection sites have him with like a 60% rushing market share and like a 8% receiving market share. But I think the best way for the Rams to attack this game is 12 personnel and just use Gurley as a receiver on all these play action plays and just like really mitigate, because their offense is worse. It's been a lot worse with Josh Reynolds out there versus Cooper Kupp. So I think Reynolds just not going to play.
Bro, do you even read 538, bro? I mean, I'm told Sean McVay's a genius because all he does is 11 personnel, which means there's only 6 guys in the box, which means it's easy to run. That's all that matters in life. Defenses don't matter. Running backs don't matter. All that matters is Sean McVay, 11 personnel, and 6 defenders in the box. And they're going to go away from that, Davis Mattek?
They're going to use Everett like the slot guy, I think.
So that's been the popular take for everyone. I actually tend to go more in that because they're not going to come out and run 12 personnel on 40% plus their plays. They're not. They're an 11 personnel team. Also, the Rams 11 personnel, because you see how these stats turn on. The Patriots are so good versus 11 personnel. The Rams 11 personnel is completely different than anyone else in the league. They run
so good.
They run a ton of bunch sets. It's not just 11 personnel, 3 wide receivers on the field. They run a ton of bunch sets. They basically run jet action on every play.
Play.
If you look at Brandon Cooks and Robert Woods splits against man press and just man coverage in general, because of the formations they run, they see so much zone coverage. And you can't get up and jam guys when you're in a bunch or you got guys moving at the line of scrimmage. I think, last week they played more 12 personnel, and they have the last 4 weeks with C.J. Anderson playing more. But we're talking like 25% of the plays. Like, you're still got 75% plus of the plays. They're going to run 3+ wide receivers out. I feel like that takes gone and run like a little too far. I love Everett, and I love his player props to the yardage at 23.5, 24.5, where you can get it, because this is a guy that ran 27 pass routes last week. But I feel like the take of the Rams coming out in 12 personnel has reached its zenith. They're going to run 11 personnel more than they run any other formation in this game Sunday.
Davis, let's hear you talk about the whole thing. Everybody is it going to be Gurley? Is it going to be Anderson? You have a bet that I like, CJ Anderson under 49.5 rushing yards. Cape for the demise of CJ Anderson once and for all.
Yeah, no hedge life for me. It's the Super Bowl. Todd Gurley's playing. If that dude is healthy, which everyone says he is, Gurley says he's healthy, the coaching staff says he's healthy, he's playing 85% of the running back snaps. He's going to be in there because they're just going to have to throw a lot. And if you're throwing a lot, CJ Anderson just can't be out there. He can't run routes. He can't really block. It's going to be a Todd Gurley game. So I want the CJ Anderson unders, and I'm actually debating 102 combo yards for Gurley overs.
Wow, the Gurley receiving props are real nice.
Yeah.
Both of them.
The 3.5 receptions, you like that over?
Yeah, the 30.5 receiving yards, 30.5 receptions. I mean, the way to beat the Patriots, Davis hit upon it when he was talking about the game plan. I mean, you want to get Deontay Hightower, Calvin Noah, get those guys in space. The Chargers backs had 7 catches. That was kind of more game script induced. I mean, we've seen the Chiefs constantly attack them with the 2 games of Kareem Hunt. Damian Williams should have had a bigger game receiving than he did in that AFC Championship game. I mean, last week, or 2 weeks ago in the AFC Championship, he still ran more routes, Gurley did, than CJ Anderson in a game where he didn't even play like 5 straight drives. So, I mean, I love that where those are set at. And the Patriots have just been bad against running backs backfield basically for a few years running. The Corey Clement receiving prop was the prop of props last Super Bowl. We're just going to double down and go roll it over to Gurley this year.
All right, dudes. Let's transition some of this talk over to showdown slates, and you guys are in for a treat. Normally, you guys have to pay $5 a month to hear Davis talk about showdown, but right now he's going to give up the goods for free. And before we get into this talk, I have a contest, 100 man's contest. The link is up in the chat. It's down below in the show notes. It's 100 man's contest. I did 100 man's contest earlier in the year, and it didn't fill by 2 fucking people, and I lost my goddamn mind tweeting it out for an entire Sunday morning. And I swear to God, if you guys make me tweet this shit out more than 1 or 2 more times, I will cancel all of you. Cancel. So sign up for the damn contest and let me sleep easy in my 50-foot bed. Davis, who's your captain?
It's Woods or Cooks. I think it has to be, because if you go Woods or Cooks, you can play both quarterbacks. You can get in kind of whatever 6K, 7K guy you want, and then you just play Gerald Everett at 2K, and that's the easy game.
Rich, this is a good follow-up for you, because I noticed in your article you had Cooks listed ahead of Woods. I just assume in like a vacuum, your preferred wide receiver play. Where do you stand on Cooks and Woods?
Yeah, I just think because when you look at Woods, he's great as like the floor for catches, but he just doesn't like pop big yardage. So, I mean, if you look at, I think he's gone over 90 yards once in his past 10 games. Cooks can just, your margin for Cooks hitting big is just a lot higher on less.
Okay. Look, guys, I'm telling you, it's not just me. It's not just people messing around. There are real people, real flesh and blood people that are talking about James Devlin in the captain slot and mashing in all the studs elsewhere. Tell us why we're all geniuses.
2 carries, 2 touchdowns.
Third, Davis, will you have a sprinkle? That would be
a very Belichickian way to win a Super Bowl.
Davis, will you have a sprinkle of James Devlin?
I'll have a sprinkle of Cordarrelle Patterson. I should have mentioned his overs is like 1 reception.
It's 1.5. I wrote it up too. I'm betting it for sure. Yeah. And it's plus odds too.
Yeah.
No, plus 135 and 150 in spots.
Oh no, it was the under. Yeah, the under on Bovada on that prop is minus 180.
Yeah, give me the over on that for sure.
Yeah, you have to give your house just to be able to bet against Cordarrelle Patterson. Yeah, you're riding with that. No, but is Cordarrelle your one sprinkle guy? Do you prefer him over Dorsett?
Yeah, I will have 0 Dorsett.
No way.
Yeah, no, none of that for me. I probably will have, honestly, very little Hogan as well.
What do you? The one thing I feel like is kind of under. Talked about, at least in showdowns relative to full slate DFS, are just like ownership projections for showdown of these kind of pump plays. Let's say, under 9,000 after Gronk. Who do you think are going to be the chalkiest cheap guys?
Everett. Yeah, Everett's going to be like mad chalk. Probably I think the kickers will gain a little bit of steam as well. And then Hogan.
That makes sense. Yeah, both kickers.
Because the kickers are like the names people already recognize,
but the kickers don't show up in optimals, actually. Like I ran like 40 lineups or whatever through already, and they were not showing up. So maybe not.
Okay. Okay. And yeah, so how many lineups are you making? Are you playing cash? Are you playing GPPs?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll be playing cash and tournaments. I'll probably do 30 lineups in the tournaments and get cash out there in a fair amount.
Rich, are you firing at Showdown?
No, I'm not playing any cash. I'll probably fire like 25 lineups out into tournaments and just see what happens. I mean, I'm mostly doing the betting side of this game. I mean, I'm not a huge Showdown guy. Just the little small variances, like if you don't have Garrett Griffin and shit like that, always gets to me.
So how Davis, what are you going to be going all in on one of those? So is like almost 90% or whatever your lineup's going to be a Rams wide receiver and captain?
Probably 50%, and then I'll actually I'll probably try and do like Gronk or James White in the other half. Gotta hedge my life a little bit. I'll probably have Woods, Cook, Woods, captain, and cash. My cash lineup will probably be Woods and captain, both quarterbacks and Cooks, and then figure it out from there.
So, Davis, what would you say? Obviously, like so many of these fucking DraftKings contests, it's $1 million up top, super top heavy, $900,000 pay jump down to second. What ways do we need to get super creative with our lineup construction to even give us a chance at that first place prize?
I mean, I guess you just got to hope that the field is like captaining a bunch of Brady, probably. I don't know if there's a way to get super weird, but I think if maybe a lot of people captain the quarterbacks and not understanding that that's not GTO, then that's, yeah. All I'm doing is just not captaining the quarterbacks as a way to differentiate myself, because just in general, captaining quarterbacks is not great.
Right. Rich, how about you? Would you leave salary on the table with these lineups?
Yeah, you can always. I mean, try not to use every penny. I mean, unfortunately, I mean, that's always a play in GPPs anyways, with outside of these showdowns. I don't know if it rolls over, but I mean, you typically don't try to leave money and leave flexibility, and you don't have to fill out your cap.
Yeah, it's interesting because you have to take some of these stands, right? You need to take your stand on how the Gurley and Anderson thing's going to play out. You have to take your stand on how the Patriots backfield's going to shake out. And then you need to take a stand on what you think the game flow will be. And if you take a stand on, say, those three things, your player pool shrinks pretty sizably. So I think it's just telling yourself the narrative of how you think this game's going to go in those key situations. Davis, are there any other kind of low-owned guys that you would consider outside of Cordero down here in this sub 5,000 range?
I mean, I don't think Gronk will be chalk. Okay. And I think you got to have a pretty healthy target expectation for him, and then Higbee as well.
Rich, anything else you're liking here? Dumpster diving?
At the bottom, it's tough. I mean, it's gross. I mean, you can't, because the Rams only play 3 wide receivers. There's not even like another guy you can.
Fourth guy.
There's just not another guy in the Rams offense. Like Higbee would be the dude you can take a shot on if you want those like 4 targets and just hope for a touchdown. He's really it in the offense. That's why we love the Rams so much in fantasy during the season, because they only give the ball to 3 guys, in the passing game.
So I think both of you were anti, or definitely Davis. Why are we out on Dorsett? He looked pretty good in that AFC Championship game and has been out targeting Hogan, right?
Think they're going to sacrifice him to Talib.
That's the thought.
Yeah, I kind of think both of those guys are kind of they're just both outclassed so greatly. And Dorsett's kind of living on that like mid-season Tyler Lockett life where he's getting 30 yards but a touchdown every game. What happens when Dorsett finally doesn't reach the paint? Like he's running significantly, fewer routes than Hogan and not getting the opportunity. His target opportunities are there, but just if you don't score, you're getting like 34 yards and maybe like 3 or 4 catches. So it's tough to keep chasing that happening every week. John Ross was doing it too at the end of the year and really pissing me off. He'd catch 1 pass a game for a touchdown.
Right. Davis, are you going to fire? Would you tilt fire at the second half showdown slates?
Oh, bro, if you're not playing, if you're not hustling for the second half showdown, are you even trying?
I'm going to be way too drunk to do that.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm trying to think about. I mean, I don't know how I'm going to pull that off. But yeah, dude, I imagine the tilt equity that you're getting against your opponents if you were at home in a sober state of mind. I think it could be plus EV, Dave.
I'm bringing my laptop to wherever I'm going. I'll just tell you, I'm locking that in right now.
Davis has a clear edge here in game. I'm just not even going to pick up my phone. while we're watching this game. I'm just gonna leave it all alone. I'm not getting into the second half. Not getting in the fourth quarter. I'm gonna be just not gonna be in the right frame of mind.
I mean, second half showdowns got to be some of the easiest money like ever in DFS.
Davis is gonna be at this party.
I believe it. I want to, but I'm not gonna be in the right state of mind.
Davis, everyone's going to be gathered around the 7-layer dip, talking about Maroon 5, and you're going to be huddled over in a corner with your headphones on, running optimizers on second half showdown slates.
I mean, that's like, you say it as a joke, but that's like actually that's like, I'm telling you right now, that's real. I'll have the daily roto lineup optimizer out and just be fiddling with the custom projections, and I'll be ready to go.
You got a bigger window too, man.
All right. Do we I feel like we've covered a lot of this. Are there any other hot takes you guys need to get off your chests here before we wrap things up? Well, let's go to Rich. Is there anything burning deep within you?
Hottest takes? No, I mean, I just hope it's good. I mean, the Patriots have always played these as much of a boogeyman the Patriots have been. They have not gone into these Super Bowl games and like really dusted anyone. All these games are typically close. The last two they were flat out, scored upon at will just about until the end of that Falcons game. So I mean, it's probably going to be a good game. I hope we just don't have it overlooming that the whole Rams thing, like people have to just focus on that narrative. So I don't know, man. That's partially why I'm rooting for the Patriots outside of the dynasty thing.
I hope Aaron Donald eats Tom Brady.
Are you touching the sack line at all? It's like 3.5
for the whole game.
It's combined 3.5 sacks for both teams.
I don't know. The thing is you can't ever stack Brady because you just get a foul. You'll just be a penalty. Will be called on you.
They'll just negate it. They take it away.
They just take like if you sack Brady, the yellow flag's coming. I don't like that line.
Well, I'll give out my one more. Did you guys see the someone asked Todd Gurley on Twitter what kind of Gatorade they like having on the sideline?
Nice.
See that? He had he said it was the like ice flavored one, the Ghost Ice or something like that, Arctic Blast, who knows. But if you can get liquid, clear/water liquid poured plus 220, that's how this game ends right there. The liquid Gatorade, and you just making all the monies.
That's a good sweat. I'm in.
It's a good sweat. All right, dudes. Thank you so much for joining me. The first ever Man's Maker Menage a Trois, I would say an incredible success. I mean, are you guys feeling like I satisfied you? Because I feel like I left it all out there.
I mean, I'm in an older state of life. I don't have the recoil I once had, but I mean, I'm still 6 to midnight for you, Mans.
That's good. That's good. Davis, are you walking away satisfied? Because menage a trois are tricky. Someone always feels a little left out, not attended to. Did I meet your needs?
I got all the takes off that were needed, bro.
That's right, dude. All right, guys, if you are not following these guys, then what a twisted, perverted world that you know me, but not them. But so be it. Davis is firing away on the take cast, getting former and soon-to-be NFL players on his show. Lots of good stuff. Reebs is pecking away over at Roto World's got lots of good gambling content. Reebs, what are you going to do here after the Super Bowl? Are you going to be going into draft mode too, like Davis?
I'll probably shut down for a little bit to kind of clear my mind, do a little bit nothing, come back towards the end of draft season. I can never make it front to back of draft season anymore. So I'll wait towards the end to do my work. This is my first year really betting and stuff, and Davis crushed it this year. Davis smoked at Fantasy Stars. Where'd you end up finishing?
Second?
That's awesome, man. Yeah, this is my first year doing it, and I really got hooked on the betting side and how different it is to play in the different kind of trends from fantasy, and really got hooked. So I'm looking to sharpen my game this offseason and come back and do a little better next year.
Awesome, dudes. And I am not kidding. Oh, yeah, Joe Holka says smash the like button. Definitely smash the like button. That will really help me out. That's like engagement, and that like gets me in more search engines, gets me more aggregated, right, Davis?
Aggregation is the name of the game.
It's the name of the game. No, Holkos knows what's up. If you guys haven't checked him out and his Twitch crew, they're rolling deep over there in the Twitch streets. Definitely check them out. And I seriously, guys, I never ask anything of you. I swear to God, if you don't fill this fucking showdown slate contest, I will lose my goddamn mind. Everyone always tells me to make it bigger. Then I make it bigger, and you guys all sit on your thumbs. All right, I'm not gonna. This is a forward-thinking show, right? I need to let it go.
Bro, I'll retweet you. We'll fill it.
Okay, we'll fill it. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Good luck this Sunday. Smoke a Pro Bowls. everyone. We will see you in the future. We'll get some off-season stuff going. We'll get some draft takes going. Thank you again to our very prestigious guests. Get paid, get laid. Peace, guys.